Jamal grew up in a neighborhood where every street had a story. Some were filled with laughter, music, and community. Others were scarred by violence, poverty, and prejudice. But to him, they were home. He knew every corner, every mural, every crack in the pavement. He also knew the looks. The wary glances from strangers as he walked by, the clutching of purses, the locking of car doors. He had learned to ignore it, to keep his head down and mind his own business. But it never stopped hurting. One afternoon, as he walked home from basketball practice, a police car pulled up beside him. The officer stepped out, his hand resting on his holster. "Where are you headed?" he asked, his tone sharp. Jamal's heart raced, his palms sweating as he tried to keep his voice steady. "Just going home, sir." The officer's eyes narrowed, scrutinizing him. "Got any ID on you?" Jamal handed over his school ID, his fingers trembling. The officer looked at it, then at him, then back at the ID. "What's in your backpack?" "Just my gym clothes and homework," Jamal replied, his voice barely above a whisper. The officers searched his bag, emptying its contents onto the sidewalk. People stared as they passed by, their eyes full of judgment. Jamal felt his face burn with shame, even though he had done nothing wrong. Satisfied, the officer handed his belongings back and walked away without an apology. Jamal stood there, his pride shattered, fighting the tears that threatened to fall. When he got home, he told his mother. She hugged him tight, whispering, "You're not alone. This world is unfair, but you are more than their fear." Jamal wanted to forget, to move on, but the incident haunted him. It wasn't the first time he had been judged by the color of his skin, and he knew it wouldn't be the last. Determined to channel his pain into something meaningful, he picked up his sketchbook. Jamal had always been an artist, drawing since he was old enough to hold a pencil. But this time, his art had a purpose. He painted a mural on the very street where he was stopped, a powerful image of faces of all colors rising above the city skyline. Below, he wrote in bold letters, "More than what you see." The mural sparked conversations. People stopped to take pictures, to talk about their own experiences, to see beyond stereotypes. It became a symbol of unity, a reminder that humanity was more than skin deep. Jamal's story spread, reaching local news and social media. He was invited to speak at community events, to share his experience, to inspire change. Standing before crowds, he found his voice. "I am not your fear. I am not your prejudice. I am not your stereotype. I am me. And that's enough." The streets didn't change overnight. But as Jamal walked through his neighborhood, past the mural that told his story, he knew that he had made his mark. Because he was more than what they saw. He was a voice. He was an artist. He was a catalyst for change. As the mural gained recognition, it became a gathering place for the community. People began leaving notes at the base of the wall, messages of hope, confessions of past prejudices, words of encouragement. Jamal read every one, his heart swelling with a sense of purpose. One evening, he found an envelope taped to the mural. Inside was a letter from the police officer who had stopped him. The words were raw, filled with regret and shame. The officer admitted his biases, his fears, and how that day had changed him. He wrote, "I was wrong. I saw your skin, not your humanity. Your art showed me what I refused to see. I'm sorry." Jamal's hands trembled as he read the letter. He never expected an apology, especially not from the person who had made him feel so small. But in that moment, he realized that change wasn't just about painting walls or giving speeches. It was about touching hearts, even the ones that once saw him as less. He wrote back, leaving his reply at the mural. "Thank you for seeing me. Let's do better together." The officer met him there the next day. They stood in silence, side by side, looking at the faces rising above the skyline. Two people from different worlds, connected by a moment that changed them both. From then on, Jamal continued to paint, turning pain into purpose, fear into hope. His murals spread across the city, each one a story of resilience, unity, and the power of seeing beyond the surface. Jamal realized that his art was more than just paint on a wall. It was a mirror, a reflection of a world that could be better. And he was going to keep painting until everyone saw it.